What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to show off a Black Wings Kairi. So I got asked either through the comments, a couple of people on Discord, they wanted to know about the synergy this deck has with stuff outside of the friendship engine. I've gotten 3 back-to-back top 4s locally with Kairi with the friend engine, 2 of them being first place undefeated, and that list is in the link in the description below. Also have it in the comment section as well, so it's easy for you guys to find, so you too can bully your meta and make friends. But I did want to share some of the other options, and I think this deck is pretty cool, has some pretty unique matchups. So let's go ahead and get into the deck profile. Do not forget to like, comment, and or subscribe, as it does help the channel. So we have the ride line. I will actually go ahead and zoom in a smidgen for you guys here. Kind of impromptu video editing outside the editor. So we do play a unique ride line. So your starter does not matter. I had this in Hollow, and I think that she looks cute. She reminds me of the Fubuki from Hololive, and I like Fubuki, so that's why we're playing this. What's really important here is this Black Wings or Celestial grade 1 here. So Indecisive Sky Celestial, and basically when you ride it, you're going to take the top card of your deck and you're going to bind it face up. If it's an odd number, you get white wings. If it's a even number, you get black wings. And basically what you're trying to do with this deck is you're trying to bind an even number card. This would be your 0s, your 2s, or your 4s to facilitate the Blackwing engine, which I think works wonderfully in Kairi, as it allows you to do really cheeky stuff, like keep your board clean against Gravidia so they don't have anything to pop. Yeah, I just think it's like a really unique interaction against like Brandgate and board control decks. And then we do play the grade 2 Astasize, the Kiora. And basically what this is I really like this, as it allows you to push early and commit pieces while also being able to, like, not worrying about losing them. You can bounce a card back to hand when this swings, so you can protect some of your more important pieces. And then of course we have the grade 3 Kairi here, which, I mean, we're not going for Persona Ride in this list, but you do need to play this, as you do need a Kairi in the soul, so she gets the job done. But really this is the star of this deck and really facilitates all of your plays. So that's the ride line. Let's go ahead and get into the meat and potatoes here, the main deck. So first of all, we play 4 copies of grade 4 Kairi. I've already talked to you guys about grade 4 Kairi. A lot of people know she's a $20 triple rare and is sold out because people refuse to buy Lyrical set 2 boxes. She's cracked. For those who do not know what she does, that on the turn you place a rear guard, it gets 5k till the end of turn, so your 10ks become 20k swingers, your 8k grade 1s become 13k, and you get some really nice numbers that force your opponent to commit 2 card guards often, or even 3 card guards when boosting. This means that your opponent doesn't get to keep their pieces in hand, while you as a Kairi player get to bounce a bunch of your stuff back to hand. This is super impactful, as she doesn't do anything exceptional, but she does keep your resources, and she really helps you refresh your resources. Also, she's way easier to get off than the Persona Ride. So 4 of those. This is a Black Wings list, which requires even number cards, so we do not play any other grade 3s. The grade 3 Kairi is the only, and the ride line is the one of the very few odd number cards we play. So we're gonna go ahead and get to the grade 2s. We play 4 copies of the Heavenly Recital MIL, and this is also a rare. What I like about this list is, outside of like obviously staples for Lyrical, this deck is fairly cheap, with the exception of like 2 cards, so you can get most of this deck for about probably like $7, because again, their commons, rares are worth cents. And basically what she does is, when she is boosted, at the end of the battle she attacked, she gets to either take a card from your soul and add it back to your hand, and then she goes into the soul, or you take a rear guard and bounce that to hand. This is also a great way to loop some of your pieces that require you to like on place draw cards, on place gaining extra power, or you have a soul charge engine in this deck, so you can also add things like PGs or even grade 4s that you find through those soul charge skills back to the hand, and just put this in soul. She is easily your best grade 2 in the deck and really helps you actually do the whole Black Wings Kairi thing. Amazing card. I love this card. Yeah, 4 of this, it's mandatory. Next, we're gonna go into more grade 2s. Yikes. We got 2 copies of the Palin. And basically what this is, or 4 copies of the Palin, and basically what this is on place, if you place it during the battle phase on rearguard, it becomes a 20k swinger. So basically this is hitting that same very spicy 20k by itself number that your Kiora hits when you're on grade 4 Kairi. This is really good for pushing cards out of your opponent's hand. Of course, you will have boosters behind this oftentimes, and it'll make it a lot more threatening, but by itself it's definitely just a really nice number. Can't really complain. All right, we have to talk about this card, Melty. It's a 1-for-1. Basically, you're gonna play it, you're gonna CB1, you're gonna call a card, and then you draw a card. Basically, this is how you dig in your deck, and it's one of the main ways that you try to find your grade 4 Kairis, try to find your combo pieces. It's a little bit pricey, but I do think it definitely warrants it, as it allows some of the decks that prior would have to run things like the Ballista engine or extra draws. You can play things like Melty and some of the other unique pieces, like the MIL, that first grade 2 we talked about in this video, where now you can find other alternative ways to gain that card advantage you need, or just find that one card to pop off. I only play 3 in this list because I wanted to play some other cards that I think also help facilitate this I need to find my grade 4 Kairi or else I lose the game strategy. All that's in quotation marks, but yeah, I love Melty, great card. A 3 of is more than enough in this deck. There's also a rare slash, it also comes in hollow, it's a 9k, and you can CB1, and if you have 3 or more rear guards, she draws you a card. So if you really don't have Melty, I think she's a great budget substitution, but Melty really is just built different and hits a better number than her anyways. So you guys got to do what you got to do. I won't judge. We have the Fanile. The Fanile here is also an amazing card, and she's one of the ways that you can build up soul. So basically what she does is on play, she soul charge, and then she gets boost until the end of turn. Pre grade 4 turn, she's going to be a 10k booster. Otherwise, on the grade 4 turn, she's going to be a 15k booster, which means you can make 30k columns, 35k columns, which is really threatening and is a 2-card guard for your opponent's grade 3s. And that's really the biggest thing. So they are either forced to take this, or they have to hope to hit defensives to get over this. And she, of course, she also soul charges too. So oftentimes you will play her, and you'll have her boost the MIL here. So these two will usually be in the same column. And so with her soul charge, you can often find things like PGs, grade 4 Kairis, or anything else of use. Sometimes you'll leave it in soul, other times you'll just use her to loop the Fanile, so that way you can keep maintaining soul. This is also a great way to dodge the prison dilemma of I need a Kairi in soul to keep playing the game, so you can keep using Fanile to put stuff in the soul, so that way you have fodder to give the prison player, so that way you can keep Kairis in the soul. If you don't want to keep riding Kairis, you need those grade 4s to pitch for your PGs. Just alternative plays to help you play the game, basically. We do have more grade 2s. We play 2 copies of this. This is a tech. So this is Fleeting Longing on Barrel. And basically what she does is on Soul Blast 2, you choose one of your opponent's units, and for every 2 even number rear guards, your opponent's Vanguard or whatever you choose will lose 5k. If it hits 0 or less, you'll put it on the bottom of the deck. This is a great way to get rid of annoying cards like Turquoise or Taser Logger and the prison matchup. Otherwise, or like things that can like make you not be able to play the game, like Turquoise. But oftentimes I just use this to target Vanguard and neg it by 10, so then it turns their 13k into a 3k. This is nice because if you are familiar with playing Kairi, you will not always be able to have a 15k front row without ultra negging, and sometimes swinging a 10k rear guard is just enough. You can also build up enough soul some games to do this twice in one turn, so you can reduce their triggers and make their triggers mean nothing, which is also really high value, especially when you're swinging with this 15k and then you have the 15k grade 2 booster. Again, it becomes not only a 2-card guard, but now they're, you know, sometimes a 3-card card depending on their hand. I really like this card. Again, you only need to see it once or twice a game, but when you do see it, it is very high value. It helps you push for lethal. It helps you push through all the defensive pieces in their hand. So definitely love this card. Final grade 2 is Sweet Sweet, or for those who pronounce everything in it sweet X sweet. It is sweet though. Basically on play, counterblast 1, look at the top 5 cards of the deck and choose 1 card from among them and call them to reader. This can help you find any of your amazing high value grade 2s to help you draw cards, loop resources, or it can help you put a Kairi on board and you can use either your grade 3 Kairi or your grade 2 Kiora from the right line to bounce the grade 4 back to hand, allowing you to make sure that you have a grade 4 Kairi for your first turn 4 so you don't lose the game. Again, only attack it's cuttable, but I do like it as a 1-of, as it is kind of the get out of jail free card when your soul chargers and your draws don't find you your win con. We play 4 PGs. Why are all my PGs different arts? I don't know, but I kind of like it just slightly. But yeah, it doesn't matter which ones you play. 4 PGs, get it the job done. We only play these 4 odd number cards in the main deck because we want to maximize our chances to get into Black Wings. I've played other Black Wing, White Wing builds, and oftentimes this feels the most consistent when you can really hyper focus your deck towards either odd or even to really maximize that game plan. Otherwise, you have to play fixers for your bind zone, which then also reduces the consistency of the rest of your deck. So just playing the 4 PGs, make sure that you don't get lethal. But in the dozens and dozens of games, I've probably played about 100 games of Black Wings Kairi, I have never once binded a PG, if that means anything for people who are worried that they'll bind their PGs from deck. So I guess there's that for consolation. Final piece before we talk about triggers here is the Awaiting Smile Marl. And Marl is at the end of the battle. This unit boost. You may return it to hand. So basically this becomes your early game, your mid game push piece, and you can keep bouncing in hand, and it allows you to keep pieces in hand for things like PGs. It gives you the extra 5k that other boosters often don't give you, because most of the time in other Kairi builds you'll commit your boosters and you'll never get them back, which means that you're losing shield value. It is good for aggro, but it means that this will constantly come in as an 11k booster on grade 4 Kairi turn, and you have to commit no other resources to keep up the Kairi plus 5k for this thing. So that's why I like it. Also a really good card that synergizes extremely well with Kairi. The only downside is that it is a 6k base, but it's fine. The rest of your deck hits pretty good numbers, so it makes up for it. And finally we have triggers. So crits, more crits, play whatever crits you want. I just like these arts, so I decided to put in my favorite crit arts because it makes me happy, and this is kind of a fun deck for me. It does actually work. It's a very good deck, but I do think that the 7 crits is really works well for this deck. We play 1 over trigger. I have the Fur Nail in here just because it's what I had left over. Play whichever one you like. There is 5 arts with various rarities, so there's bound to be one that you like. Of course, we play the 4 heals. Again, I did different arts because these are some of my favorite arts from between Lyrical Set 1 and Lyrical Set 2. I'm just missing one of the arts I like, but again, I just like these arts. 4 heals kind of wins you the game, or it keeps you alive. And then of course we have the draw triggers. We play 4 of those. So for those who are kind of lost, 4 heal, 4 draw, 7 crit, and 1 OT. We do not play soul charge crits in this deck because oftentimes you will have to commit your triggers, and 4Ks become 9Ks while 5Ks become 10Ks. We have things like the grade 2 Black Wings piece. I can pull her out for reference here. The Final that also generates soul for you, so you don't really need the crit here. The 2K is kind of relevant considering the Marl is 11k swinger, so that 2k does make her a very juicy 13, which hits that next guard bracket, forces them to pitch another card from hand. So if you want to do that, by all means go ahead. I just value having 10k boosters and swingers over 9k boosters and swingers more, but that's just me. Play at your own discretion. That is the deck profile, we'll talk about some combos and things that you might want to think about when you're piloting this deck, because it does really force you to play with your resources and make sure that you don't overcommit hands. So now we're in the widened view, so I can go over a couple of cool interactions I think that makes this deck work very well. When you're comboing with grade 4, any of these pieces will make you have a pretty easy time comboing. So let's say you have a couple of counterblasts in here. I'll just throw 2 cards in just so we have some counterblasts to play with. Yeah, so we have counterblast here, and a couple of things that you might want to do is, say you are digging for pieces. So let's say this is our hypothetical deck. You could use Melty to commit pieces to board. So let's say we commit the Marl to draw cards from the deck, so that way we can kind of stay consistent. We need a bigger hand because Kairi typically doesn't have a lot of shield. She has very similar shield value problems to Magnolia. The only difference is Magnolia can boost from the back row. Kairi just has an easier time bouncing her back row pieces back to hand. So there's that. Typically you will have a MIL here boosted by a Fanile, and this is probably your strongest column, as it allows you to loop this if you wish to, or you can try to get pieces out of the soul. And this is 30k by itself. Finally, you may have another Marl here, or even another Fanile to help this column function. So typically what I like to do with grade 4 Kairi is I will often swing these 15Ks or these 20Ks, just the front row, as I want to preserve the boosters, because you'll swing this, you'll swing, and then you'll do the Kairi proc. So then you can bounce them the hand and call any 2 cards. Oftentimes, if you have other cards beside Melty, it's often nice to hold the Melty because she allows you to draw on your following turn. And you can go for another MIL, and then you can either foil into either a Paline or a Barrel. The Barrel is nice if you see them start hitting triggers, so you can get rid of their trigger effects mid battle phase, which is a cute battle trick you can do to kind of Dougie on your opponent. Or you can go into the Paline, which is a 20k swinger if she's called during the battle. So let's say, for example, we go for this on the Kairi swing now. So you're swinging with the Kairi, you've bounced your front row, you're calling these 2. You can use the rear guard skill to soul blast, and of course you will always have even number rear guards. So you have 4 here, so you would obviously target their vanguard or annoying piece on board, neg that by 10, and then you get your triple drive. We can kind of go through swings. You would swing this, you would bounce this back to hand, or if you have like a PG or something in the soul, you can grab that too. This bounces at the end of this battle, and of course you have this, and this would bounce. So basically, typically with Blackwing turns, you will usually end on a board state like this. If you do have 2 copies of MIL, you do get the added bonus of only having one card on the board most of the time, because you can use that last MIL being boosted to target the other MIL and add it to hand to make sure that you can try to toolbox from your soul or from your board, whatever you need on the following turn. And this basically means that your Gravidia players cannot pop 3, which means their grade 3 is only at best an 18k swinger. Picture of that annoying card is on board. For the Pure Light, they don't get 2 from board often, and if they do, it's fine, you can call them back. You'll typically have the soul. And also, again, like I was saying earlier, the Fanile does allow you to get extra soul, so that way when the prison player wants to get your Kairi out the soul, it's really hard because you will always have that extra soul, thanks to Fanile always soul blasting or soul charging to be able to boost. So I think that this deck has a nice time against Brand Gate matchups. Again, it does require you to kind of understand when you're supposed to commit tempo, but hopefully this helps for the Blackwing appreciators or Kairi appreciators, people who want to try other things than just cookie cutter Kairi with friends. Again, don't forget to like, comment, and or subscribe for more content. This is Kokorin TCG signing off, guys. Please take care of yourself. Peace out.